Cut line. Cut line. Wake up. Paste that. Sorry, folks, bear with me. Go to sleep. Okay, there we go. Sorry about all that confusion and messed up resolution. I done had the show posted, set up, and everything. And just about the time I got ready to start, I turned that one off by accident. So we're starting all over. Well, hello and how are you? Hey, friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Senator Briscoe, coming to you live from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, today's September 12th, 2024. Got a happy birthday shout outs going out to Mickie Hall-guthrie, and Debra Wisdom. So, without further ado, here's a birthday song for the two of you. Hey, Debra. Hey, Aunt Mickie. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another year gone away. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. I said, hey, Aunt Mickie. Hey, Debra. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another trip around the sun that you made. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. Day today. It's your happy birthday day today. Happy birthday to the two of you and many more blessed birthdays. All right. All righty then. Shen Show fans, how about them? Savann Murphy Beason, Rico Murphy, and Jarvis Johnson. Don't know where that went. Anyway. And then my Pokey pals. Mark and Kelly, here's a special return poke for you now. All right. All right. Johnson. Wake up. Johnson. All right. There we go. All right. Oh, Lord. Go to sleep. Weather forecast. Brought to you by Helping Hands Thrift Store and Foster Care Closet and Diner. Located at 416 South 5th Street, St. Charles, Missouri, 63301. Yes, that's right. Come on by, get you some beautiful boutique items. And their clothes are just phenomenally priced. So are their ties and furniture and jewelry, shoes, you name it. It's great great prices. And then the diner ain't no slouch either, boy. I'll tell you what, they serve up a mouth-watering meal, and they wash it down with a nice, thick, not a shake, but a float, root beer float. That's what it was, or a cream soda float, or whatever kind of float you want. All right. So anyway, today's Thursday, September the 12th. Generally cloudy skies for the majority of the day. High temperatures of 87 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers after midnight. Low temperatures around 66 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60%. Then for tomorrow, Friday, September the 13th, a few showers with early with overcast skies later in the day. High temperatures of 77 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60%. Cloudy skies early and then partly cloudy after midnight. Low temperatures of 67 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for Saturday, September the 14th, cloudy in the morning with scattered thunderstorms developing later in the day. High temperatures of 83 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour and chances of rain 50%. Considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers overnight. Low temperatures of 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles per hour and another 50% chance of rain. Sunday, September the 15th, showers early, then scattered thunderstorms developing later in the day. High temperatures of 78 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60%. Overcast skies with some rain showers at times overnight. Low temperatures of 66 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 50%. And then for Monday, September the 16th, mostly cloudy skies with a slight chance of a rain shower. High temperatures of 82 degrees Fahrenheit with winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies overnight, low temperatures of 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for our fifth and final day of our 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area, Tuesday, September the 17th. Mostly sunny skies with high temperatures of 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be out of the east to southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies overnight, low temperatures of 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be east to southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And that, my friends, is your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. All right. I don't know what I did, but I didn't do it right. Tom Mattingly. Tom Mattingly, that was his name. Boy could sing bass, boy. He could rumble the floors in our choir room. Tom Mattingly. Oh, a rumple, a rumple's jet skin. A rumple, a rumple, a rumple, still skin. Let's see what we're going to sing today. Do we have a song in mind? A summer. Laura and Tommy were lovers. He wanted to give her everything. Flowers, presents, and most of all, a wedding ring. He saw a sign for a stock car race $1,000 prize. It read he couldn't get Laura on the phone. So to her mother, Tommy said, tell Laura I love her. Tell Laura I need her. Tell Laura I may be late. I've got something to do that cannot wait. He drove his car to the racing ground. He was the youngest driver there. The crowd roared as they started the race. Around the track they drove at a deadly pace. No one knows what happened that day and how his car overturned in flame. But as they pulled him from that twisted wreck, with his dying breath, they heard him say, tell Laura I love her. Tell Laura I need her. Tell Laura not to cry. My love for her will never die. Now the chapel where Laura prays for her Tommy who passed away. It was just for Laura he lived and died alone in that chapel. She can hear him cry. Tell Laura I love her. Tell Laura I need her. Tell Laura not to cry. My love for her will never die. Tell Laura I love her. Tell Laura I love her. There you go. I'm going to try this one. Teen angel, teen angel, teen angel. That fatal night, the car was stalled upon the railroad tracks. I pulled you out and we were safe, but you went running back. Teen angel, can you hear me? Teen angel, can you see me? Are you somewhere up above? And am I still your true love? What was it you were looking for that took your life that night? They said they found my high school ring clutched in your fingers tight. Teen angel, can you hear me? Teen angel, can you see me? Are you somewhere up above? And am I still your only love? Just sweet 16, and now you're gone. You've taken your way. I'll never kiss your lips again. They buried you today. Teen angel, can you hear me? Teen angel, can you see me? Are you somewhere up above? And am I your only true love? Teen angel, teen angel, teen angel. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. All right, we're just gonna roll on over to story time with TV Grandpa. So let's do that. Hey, how did I get out of that category? Story time. with TV Grandpa. Story time with TV Grandpa. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Okay, kiddos, we're going to read a long one tonight. So, I'm already going to yawn just to get that out of the way. So, if you see me dozing off, give me a call at 636-345-1025 and let me know that I dozed off. All right. Here we go, Cinderella. Hey, kiddos, it's time for TV. Story time with TV Grandpa. So wake up, jump up on the couch, or jump up on the bed, wherever it is you rest your sleepy little head. Because TV Grandpa is going to drift your mind into a dreamland with another story from Story Time with TV Grandpa. Cinderella is one of our favorite fairy tales. Once there was a gentleman who married for his second wife, the prudest and most haughty woman that had ever that was ever seen. She had, by a former husband, two daughters of her own, who were of her own humor, and who were indeed exactly like her in all things. He had likewise, by another wife, a young daughter, but of unparalleled goodness and sweetness of temper, which she took from her mother, who was the best creature in the world. No sooner were the ceremonies of the wedding over, but the mother in law began to show herself to her true colors. She could not bear the good qualities of this pretty girl, and the less and less they made her own daughters appear, and the more odious. So she employed her in the meanest work of the house. She scoured the dishes, tables, etc., scrubbed the madam's chambers and those of the misses, her daughters, and she lay up in a sorry garret upon a wretched straw bed, while her sisters lay in fine rooms with floors all inlaid upon beds of the very newest fashion, and whether they had looking glasses so large that they might see themselves at their full length from head to toe. The poor girl bore all patient of paternal penalty and dread not tell her father, who would have rattled her off, for he, for his wife, was governed him entirely when she had done her work. She used to go into the chimney corner and sit down among cinders and ashes, which made her commonly be called Cinderwinch. But the youngest, who was not so rude and uncivil at, as the eldest, called her Cinderella. However, Cinderella, notwithstanding her mean apparel, was a humble 100 times handsomer than her sisters, though they were in many ways dressed very richly, always dressed very richly. Now, it happened that the king's son gave a ball and invited all the persons of fashion to it. One young miss was uh, our young misses were also invited, for they cut a very grand figure among the quality, and they were mighty delighted at this invitation, and wonderfully busy in choosing out such gowns, petticoats, and head clothes as might become them. This was a new trouble in Cinderella, for Cinderella's life, for it was she who ironed her sisters' linens and pleated their ruffles, and they talked all day long of nothing but how they should be dressed. For my part, said the eldest, I will wear my red velvet suit, which with the French trimmings. And I, said the youngest, shall have my usual petticoat. But then, to make amends for that, I will put on my gold flowered manitou and my diamond stomacher, which is far from being the most ordinary one in the world. And then they sent for the best tire women they could get to make up their hairdresses and mm, their their headdresses, and as adjust their double pin, panniers, and they had their then and their red brushes and patches from Metasolosio da la Boucher. And Cinderella was likewise called up to them to be consulted in all these matters, for she had excellent notions, and advised them a ways for the best, nay, and offered her services to dress their heads, which they were very willing to that she should do. As she was doing this, they said to her, Cinderella, would you not be glad to go to the ball? Alas, she said, you only jest, you only jeer me. It is not for such as I am to go there. Thou art in the right of it, replied I, and it would make the people laugh to see a cinder wench at the ball. So anyone but Cinderella would have dressed, transported with joy that they broke above a dozen laces in their trying on of their lace up corsets. Then they might have a fine, slender shape. Then they might have a fine, slender shape, and they were continually at their looking glasses. At least, uh, they the happy day came, or at last the happy day came. And they went to court, and Cinderella followed them with her eyes as long as she could. And when they had lost sight of them, she fell crying. Her grandmother, or her godmother, who saw her all in tears, asked her what was the matter. I wish I could. I wish I could. She was not able to speak, the rest being interrupted by her tears and sobbing. While the grandmother of the godmother of hers, who was a fairy, said to her, Thou wishest that you could go to the ball, Is it not so?" "Yes," cried Cinderella with a great sigh. "Well," said her godmother, "be but a good girl, and I will contrive that thou shalt go." And then she took her into her chamber, and she said to her, "Run into the garden and bring me a pumpkin." Cinderella went immediately to gather the finest that she could get, and she brought that into her godmother, not being able to imagine how this pumpkin could make her go to the ball. And her godmother scooped out all the insides of it, and having left nothing but the rind, which done, she stuck it with her wand, and the pumpkin was immediately transformed into a coach, guided all or gilded all over with gold. And then she went to look into her mouse traps, where she found 6 mice, all alive. And Cinderella, um, and she ordered Cinderella to lift up a little the trap door, and when giving each mouse as it went out a little tap with her wand, the mouse was turned. The mouse that very moment turned into a fine horse, which together made a very fine set of 6 horses of a beautiful mouse-colored dapple gray. Being at a loss for a coachman, "I will go and see," said Cinderella, "if there is never a rat in the rat trap. We may make a coachman of him." "Thou art in the right," replied the godmother. "Go and look." Cinderella brought the trap to her, and in there was 3 huge rats. The fairy made choice of one of the 3 which he made, which had the largest beard, and having touched him with her wand, he was turned into a fat jolly coachman, and who had the smartest whiskers eyes ever beheld. After that, she said to her, "Go again into the garden, and you will find 6 lizards behind the watering pot. Bring them to me." And she had no sooner done so, but her godmother turned them into 6 footmen, who skipped up immediately behind the coach, and with their lively liveliers all bedewed with gold and silver, and clung as close behind each other as they as if they had done nothing else their whole entire lives. Well, the fairy then said to Cinderella, "Well, now, you see here an equipage fit to go to the ball with, and are you not pleased with it?" "Oh, yes," cried Cinderella, "but must I wear go there as I am, in these nasty rags?" Her godmother only just touched her with her wand, and at that same instant her clothes were turned into cloth of gold and silver, all best and with jewels. This done, she gave her a pair of glass slippers, and the prettiest in the whole world, after midnight, telling her that at the same time that if she stayed one moment longer, the coachman would be a pumpkin, or the coach would be a pumpkin, and again the horses would be mice, and her coachman a rat, and her footmen lizards, and her clothes became just as they were before. She promised her godmother that she would not fail of leaving the ball before midnight, and then Away she drives, scarce able to contain herself for joy. While the king's son, who was told that a great princess, whom nobody knew, was come, ran out to receive her. He gave her his hand as she alighted out of the coach and led her into the ball. Among all the company, there was immediately a profound silence. They left off dancing, and the violins ceased to play. And so, alternative was everyone to contemplate the singular beauties of the unknown newcomer. Nothing was then heard but a confused noise of "Ha! How handsome she is! How handsome she is!" The king himself, old as he was, could not help watching her and telling the queen softly that he was a long time since that he had seen so beautiful and lovely of a creature, while all the ladies were busied in conducted her to the most honorable seat, and afterwards took her out to dance with him. And she danced so very gracefully that they all more and more admired her. A fine collation was served up, and wherefore the young prince ate not a morsel, so intently was he busy in gazing at her. She went and she sat down by her sisters, showing them a thousand civilities, giving them part of the oranges and citrons which the prince had presented with her, had presented her with, and when which they very much surprised them. Curtsy to the company, her godmother, and after having thanked her, she said she could not but heartily wish that she might go next next day to the ball, because the king's son had desired her. And as she was eagerly telling her godmother whatever had passed at the ball, her two sisters knocked at the door, which Cinderella ran and opened. How long have you how long you have stayed? Cried she, gaping, rubbing her eyes, and stretching herself as if she had been just wakened out of her sleep. She had not, however, any manner of inclination to sleep since they went from home. Thou hadst been at the ball, if thou had finished at the ball, then said the one of her sisters, thou wouldst not have been tired with it. There came there the finest princess, the most beautiful ever was seen with mortal eyes, and she abilities and gave us oranges and citrons. Cinderella seemed very indifferent in the matter. Indeed, she asked them the names of the princess, but they told her they did not know, and that the king's son was very uneasy on her account and would give all the world to know who she was. At this, Cinderella, smiling, replied, she must then be very beautiful indeed. How happy you have been. Could not I see her? Ah, dear Miss Charlotte, do let me your yellow suit of clothes which you wear every day. Ay, to be sure, cried Miss Charlotte, lend me lend my clothes to such a dirty cinder wench as thou art? I should not be. And Cinderella indeed expected such an answer, and was very glad to the refusal, for she would have been sadly put to it if her sisters had lent her what she had asked uh, for jestingly. Well, the next day the two sisters were at the ball, and so was Cinderella, all dressed up more magnificently than before. The king's son was always by her, and never ceased his compliments and king's speeches to her, and to whom all this was so far from being tiresome that she quite forgot what her godmother had re- uh, recommended to her, and so that she at last counted the clock striking 12 when she took to it, and to be no more than 11, and then she rose up and fled as nimble as a deer, while the prince followed but could not overtake her. She left behind one of her glass slippers, which the prince took up most carefully. She got home, but quite out of breath, and in her nasty old clothes, having nothing left her out of all her finery but one of the little slippers, followed, followed the one she had dropped. While the guards at the palace gate were asked if they had not seen a princess going out, who said they had seen nobody go out but a young girl, very meaningless. And when the two sisters turned from the ball, Cinderella asked them returned from the ball. Cinderella asked them if they had been diverted, and if the fine lady had been there. And they told her yes, but that she hurried away immediately, and when it struck 12, and with so much haste that she dropped one of her little glass slippers, and then the prettiest in the world, which the king's son had taken up, and that he had done nothing but looked at her all the time at the ball, and that most certainly he was very much in love with the beautiful person who owned the glass slipper. What they said was very true, for a few days after the king's son caused it to be proclaimed by sound of trumpet that he would marry her whose foot the slipper would just fit, and they whom he employed began to try it upon the princesses, and then the duchesses, and all the court, and all but in vain. It was brought to the two sisters, who did all they possibly could to thrust their foot into the slipper, but they could not effect it. And Cinderella, who saw all this and knew her slipper, said to them laughingly, "Let me see it, if it will not fit me." Her sisters burst out laughing and began to banter her, and the gentleman who was sent to try the slipper looked earnestly at Cinderella, and finding her very handsome, said it was but just that she should try, and that he had orders to let everyone make that try. So he obliged Cinderella to sit down, and putting the slipper to her foot, he found that it went on very easily, and it fitted her as if it had been made of wax. This astonished her two sisters, were, and they were excessively great, but still abundantly greater when Cinderella pulled out of her pocket the other slipper and put it on her foot. And thereupon in came her godmother, who, having touched with her wand Cinderella's clothes, made them richer and more magnificent than any of those she had before. And now her two sisters found her to be that fine, beautiful lady whom they had seen at the ball, and they threw themselves at her feet to beg pardon for all the ill treatment that they had made her undergo. Cinderella took them up at and, as she embraced them, cried that she forgave them with all her heart and desired them always to love her. She was conducted to the young prince, dressed as she was, and taught her more he thought her more charming than ever before, and a few days after married Cinderella. He, Cinderella, who was no less good than beautiful, gave her two sisters lodgings in the palace. And so there you have it. That was Cinderella. Yeah, it was another long one. Wake up, mouse click, mouse click, mouse click, click yes, start dwell clicker 2. Go to sleep. Alrighty then. That was Storytime with TV Grandpa, which now brings us to the Bible the daily reading of the bread, our portion of the program called the daily bread portion of the program. Yeah, that's right. And today, the daily bread portion of the program is going to be brought to you by the Bible with Briscoe 2024. The Bible with Briscoe 2024 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2024 will be Proverbs 15 through 15, and 2 Corinthians 5. So don't forget to tune in to the Bible with Briscoe 2024 for your daily reading of the Bible. Retrieval practice. That is today's devotion in the daily bread portion of the program, and we will be reading Exodus 28 through 11. And so here we go. Exodus 28 through 11. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God, and on it you shall not do any work, neither you nor your sons or daughters, nor your male or female servants, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and the sea, and all that was in it. And then, but he rested on the seventh day. And therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. And so there you go. Retrieval of practice. All right. All about the Sabbath and relaxing on the seventh day. We don't know whether that's Saturday or Sunday. Now, we would say Sunday, but it depends on how your calendar is set up our first day of a month, of the week is Sunday. So it would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday would be the seventh day. Now, there is a religion out there called the Seventh day Evangelists, and they do worship on Saturdays. So I don't know. I don't know whether it's our calendar or the old calendar. I don't know which one they go by. So maybe it's something I should research. Alrighty, hey, that was the Daily Bread portion of the program, which was brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2024, a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. So don't forget to tune into the Bible with Briscoe 2024 for your daily reading of the Bible. Alrighty, my friends, that looks like it, and that's all. So, well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So, goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. This has been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning into the Shen Show for today. And as always, God loves you. So do I. So come on back and see us again tomorrow because, well, God willing, we'll be here. And we hope that you are too. Bye bye.